Would you mind washing your hands in there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure.
Thanks. Also, let me give you a clean towel. That was used by a previous guest.
Ew.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm
Oh,
just gonna hide some of this.
Love it. Oh, gross.
Keep it on the brown.
Is this Photoshop or is this?
No. Yes. Brilliant.
My dirty.
No, it's outside clothes on an inside couch.
Interesting.
I'm getting okay. Bobby, you're gonna be here.
Thank you.
You guys are our fellow current stars of Peacock.
No, my Amazon. I'm on a show that's on Amazon, but NBC produces it.
Ah, so it's the studio.
The Mayor on NBC Thursdays. At
Okay, well you got a
4:30.
fan.
Mr.
You got a
Mayor.
fan.
It's on Tuesdays.
This is your plug. Okay, Mr. Mayor on
8:30.
Tuesdays.
Find it.
Theme music.
2:30.
Scoot doo, blabbity blue, scoop dee. Oh yeah!
Thank you.
Interesting.
Hi.
Yeah.
Welcome
haven't
to a
seen
new
each other
episode
in a
of
while.
Take Your Shoes Off, where I have two friends come over.
Take your shoes off.
I thought it might be a fun concept. It's your two podcasts, but you treat it as if you're just guests on other people's podcasts.
Yeah.
So you come on other people's podcasts, but
That's Lauren Lapkus's show, right?
no.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I know Lauren's show.
Don't feel bad. There's no original thought.
I've done it twice. This is an original thought. What it is you guys, it's your podcast, but you go on everyone, like for example, you're coming on my podcast and it's a Take Your Shoes Off podcast.
Okay.
But I'm setting up the whole time. It's just you two.
And you never
Catching
say
up.
anything.
It's always, or every now and then they come in, it's
Right.
but I'm just like a little color person to but your podcast is always on somebody else's set.
Okay. And we have to arrange for the other person to
Whatever their
so
version
I
of
go
it
to
is.
like Mark Maron and say like, hey, just like tune your guitar for 45 minutes.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't work though without video because then you could just think it's just somebody playing guitar.
Yeah.
Never mind. Maybe we
You-
should do
you
Lauren's
have one
idea.
We
of the
almost
most-
had it.
Yeah, you have
got close.
such an impressive visual. You were the kind of first visual podcast that I followed, maybe more so visually because of all the work you put into it afterwards.
We put it in. I put it in. But actually, if you don't mind, we could do.
I know,
Could you guys
I
do
know.
cheers and we'll put that in for the episode?
Making your way in the world today. So, sorry,
No,
you
that's,
meant actually.
that's what I meant.
Okay.
But could you do Flaming Moe's
Making your way-
version? I'll go to Flaming when liquor in a mug could warm you,
You
like a hug.
junk.
Happiness
is
just
the
a
best.
You're bad at guessing. I'm
Cough
shocked.
syrup's the
No,
secret
no.
ingredient.
Yes.
And The Simpsons.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, you guys, we all have a similar pool of. We all swim in the same pool in Palm Springs.
Yeah.
Go Rams.
Yeah, I'm still putting on my ointment. Oh, world champion Rams. Thank you very much.
Do everything.
Taran.
Thank you guys for coming over.
Thank
Yeah,
you for
thanks
doing
for
this.
having us.
Thank you for letting us come over.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
I sometimes that in exchange, it's easy to accept. Like, thank you. Yeah, thank you. But it reminds me in life when you go out to eat, and you know us, we're TV stars. We got cash.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, it's $80. Let me fart.
Give me two.
Yeah, make it 160.
Anytime I have to pay for anything with $80, I immediately fart.
This podcast is sponsored by Blue Chew, the company that gives you big rock hard boners. And for help from my advertisements this week, I brought along my girl cousin. Hi, Annabella.
Hi, try Blue Chew free when you enter code TYSO at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping.
That's BlueChew.com, promo code TYSO to receive your first month free.
I have to. I'm on TV.
Yeah.
So when you're like, I got it, and somebody's like, no, right? How do you, Bobby? I'll ask you first.
I don't go out. The only person I eat meals that have to be paid for are with Taran,
Yeah.
and
And who pays?
we use
split.
we split, or
Yeah.
we go 1 and 1.
Yeah.
Or it depends, or who planned it.
Whoever
Maybe.
planned it pays it.
Yeah, maybe.
Isn't that interesting? I planned it. You pay it.
I
First
give
base.
I give and receive more lavish gifts to and from Taran than
Yeah.
I have anyone in my entire family or life.
Possibly, that's true. Possibly including spouses.
Are you
quite
best
honestly.
friends?
It's completely
Yeah.
true.
Yes.
Best friends, number ones, or like one of best friends?
I don't
No,
subscribe
no,
to the philosophy
no.
of number one.
That's not true.
Oh,
He
then
does.
yes.
I was thinking about this the other day. I referred to someone as my best friend the other day, and I literally had the thought, I'm 45 years old. I
Yeah.
just said my best friend.
Is that
Right.
an antiquated term? Like, could you not have best friends as an adult?
Well, I just think it's weird. Taryn, I would say Taryn, I would literally
You can say
consider
that's okay.
Taryn my brother in my life. Taryn
sure.
is the closest thing
Bobby
to my
is
brother.
my top tier of people that mean something to me, that are my friends, that
Whose
are
Instagram handle
family, that are in and in Arial Black, please. I just want people to see it.
Yeah.
No, for sure. My own opinion on the term best friends, I think that best friend comes up having children myself and sort of getting to observe this from the outside. A best friend is so necessary when you're young because it means security. It means like no matter how I change or what I don't know or what environment I'm in, there's someone who is for me. And that's
accepts
an
me.
important thing, right? What'd you say?
They accept
That
me.
accept
They know
me
me.
no
I'm-
matter
I'm-
what
yeah, yeah.
unconditional. I need that unconditional security. And then if you're fortunate to go through life for 4 decades thus far, knock on wood, you
It's
start.
funny. It feels like a slip because you said duck because you do the voice of a duck.
Duckades. Yeah,
That's why
I don't think
Duckades-
I didn't.
yeah, for
don't think I
Duckades.
didn't catch on to them.
It's a tie-in.
Yeah, all the ducks with Duckades.
All the duckades. Poor
Market blue.
duckades. What would you call prep for ducks?
PFDs.
Yeah, there you go. No, but I just think you see the value in the exclusivity feels more trivial and feels defeating, quite honestly.
So
why
best
wouldn't you
friends.
want to have 20 best friends?
friends
I don't
are
have
good.
that many, but best friends, Bobby is 100% in that category.
Do you feel it's a similar, not as high weight, but a similar math of picking a favorite movie?
No, because I like have a running list and I keep.
You have a number one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you can have more than one movie. Also, like
Saying two different things though.
the
Yes.
movie isn't doing anything for me. Like if I don't call the movie for a year, the movie won't understand.
Right.
But isn't that what makes someone so accepting? Is if you don't end up speaking to them for a long time, and then you talk to them again, you could still quote each other's pop culture references.
What?
So who pays? No.
We switch.
I
It's
wanna-
always Guy Kaku, though.
Did you guys
I'm a
meet
big-
on SNL?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it right
But
away?
I remember the first time I saw Taryn,
Yeah.
which was doing like a thing on Scrubs.
Bobby, help
doing
me out.
impressions on
Bobby, help me out here.
Scrubs.
Eat this
Oh,
a little
funny.
bit. Like put it under
that
you a
mic.
little so it's not covered. Yeah.
Sure.
Good. I also forgot to tell you guys, we're good. I'm cool now. Every now and then the camera turns off because I have a weird setting. It
Okay.
normally doesn't, but every 5 or 10 minutes,
Okay.
you'll see me like go like this.
Yeah.
And I'll probably do it while you're talking. So if it's distracting, pause. If you're curious what I'm doing, that's all.
Not a ghost.
Not an intruder or ghost, a dead intruder.
So you met on SNL.
You have that was here the last time I was here too. That feature of this camera.
So this camera's not meant to film 4K for extended periods of time, but there's a little hack.
Uh-oh.
I thought I had a sneeze. Sorry. There's a little hack that I
Jen
did.
Smart.
Yeah, and Hannah Bender.
I haven't watched the show, but I
good.
hear great things. I hear it's
really
wonderful.
Good. And the creators of the show were at that luncheon that we went to. Throw up a picture.
Oh.
And now
down.
bring it down
Yeah.
real slow.
I grab it. I don't know.
Okay. Fart it out.
$80.
You paid $80.
Second base.
Yeah.
Were you both hired the same year, same
No.
class?
No.
Bobby
I
started
was
2 years
hired
before me.
1964. No, I was 2017. You were 2019.
No, 2007, 2009.
2009.
Oh,
2010.
Jeez,
If
I'm
you're
doing
then-
leaving rather than starting. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're there for 2 years. You're already the guy. People are like, "Oh wow, this guy's the guy. He's the duck."
First time.
No.
He's the duckade.
No, that was not the case. It was more like, thank God, someone new is here.
But you got a sketch on you got a Bobby Moynihan sketch on your very first episode.
I did, and I truly
On your first episode as a freshman?
Yes.
but I believe that was because Michael Phelps hosted.
Oh, he's a fan.
He's
What
a
does
huge-
Michael Phelps have to
He
do?
loves,
No,
he
he
loves
just-
Peppa.
Yeah,
He goes
No,
to the
he
same
just
pool in
didn't-
Palm Springs, I think.
he was. I would say this to his face. He was tired. He
Sure.
had just finished the Olympics.
Eating all those Subway sandwiches.
I was
That's
like,
a lot
I
of
said to
carbs.
him, I said, "So are you having a good time?" And he went, "No."
Yeah.
And he said he just got back from Greece.
How
and
were his arms?
He was tired. Huge. He was a monster. But
Hugely tired.
But I got a sketch on my first episode because I think
Yeah. The
of
first
that.
time Bobby and I met, the first night we met, I wasn't on the show yet. I was visiting
Yes.
as a friend, and it was the episode Nassim's.
How did you know
Nassim's
him
first
if you weren't on the show?
I wasn't his guest. I was Nassim's guest. Nassim and Jillian Bell. Jillian was hired as a writer. Nassim Pedrad hired in the cast, and I was visiting for their very first episode, and that's the episode where Jenny Slate let slip the F
and I
word.
fucking love you
And
for
in that moment, I had shown up and seen The Dress, so they do the full 2-hour show at 8 p.m. Then there's a break, and then they do the live show that's only 90 minutes at 11:30. And we were watching the live show, and I was with Nina, Nassim's younger sister, and Leah, Nassim's best friend, childhood friend of mine from Big Bear, California. And Jenny does the thing and does the face, and we were all so tired because we'd been there that whole time, and we were kind of like, and I went, I think she just said the F word, and like Nina was like, no, it's flippin'. That's the joke of the sketch. It's flippin'. I was like, no, you didn't hear that? I think she just
Was there a big controversy?
For that. It didn't matter. It wasn't a big deal, but it was fun and exciting, exhilarating. Knock, knock, knock. I was like, I'm pretty sure knock, knock, knock. Bobby comes in. He goes, I think our little Jenny Slate just said the F word.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I was in my dressing room with Keenan and smoking
great.
weed, and he just went. We were both looking at the TV, and he just went. He just kind of laughed.
Did you smoke weed before a lot of shows?
I wasn't. No, I couldn't.
Do you smoke weed?
Yeah.
But you
Well,
can't do it
not
with work?
really anymore. Well, yeah.
What?
Huh? Yes. No,
Rick,
not at work.
Rick.
Not before a show. I couldn't.
Because it makes you too silly?
At SNL? No, it was just too
But you just said you were
terrifying.
smoking weed in the...
Me and
Sometimes.
Keenan used to
Inaugural.
smoke weed. Yeah,
Special
yeah.
occasions.
We would smoke weed many times during rehearsals. But
Yeah.
I love performing
not,
high.
You
I do not. I
Love.
do not.
I can count on one hand the amount of times I've done pot.
So was that 1 to 5?
It's probably 4.5. 4.5, like the half being like
took
I
a
don't
hit,
feel
but-
it. Yeah,
right.
yeah. Clinton style.
Because he didn't inhale?
Yeah.
Or he didn't fuck her?
Sorry, I'm
I don't think
into
I've ever
politics
seen you
now.
smoke weed.
Yes.
Wait, I don't want to pass over this.
Here's
I don't want to pass over the politic thing. Can we go back to it?
Okay, sure.
We can go back to it after. I just one of us remind us. I want to talk
Go back
politics
to,
with you.
Okay, great.
in a little bit.
The first time I ever did was honestly right before I flew out to start SNL. My wife and I went to a resort, and my little brother, who has been known to imbibe, I hit him up and I was like, hey, we're kind of doing this, and it feels like a safe environment. That time, he brought it over. He sat with us. There's a little outdoor fire pit. He sat with us. I took the hits, and I was very cerebral about it. I was very much like, I don't want to embellish. I want to actually feel what
wanna
this feels like.
embellish.
I don't want to be like, oh man, it's hitting me. In the way that
like when someone takes a hit of a helium balloon and they change their voice.
yes,
it's like,
exactly.
Just be real.
Or like one beer and you're like, I'm feeling wasted.
That one I like. But I get what you're saying.
It's funny.
That's
It's-
you anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's me and Guy Ukaku. I can't pay this time for you wasted. Did it and did deep breaths. Like, okay, I'm starting to feel warm. I feel it. Okay, I feel like it. I feel it's traveling down my body. And we ordered a plate of cookies because I'm like, that's the cliche, right? I'm gonna want it, and I love cookies anyway. Imagine me on pot. And I started to take a cookie, and my then fiance and brother were laughing because they're like,
Your then
"It's
fiance
starting-"
is your now wife.
Correct. Thank God.
Third base.
And then and then they're like, let's go inside. I just felt my body kind of start sinking into the chair. Like I started feeling real heavy. And Taylor's like, I'm gonna take off. And then Kobe and I went in and we ordered MacGruber, which is maybe my favorite comedy of the last 20 years.
Well, I don't know what you're baking up over there, but I'm about to sizzle your pan. What are you talking about, MacGruber? What do you think I'm talking about? Move over, bacon, because now there's something meatier. It's called more bacon. It's that kind of stuff. It's that kind of related to...
8 episodes of that.
Yeah.
And I just I think I made it to his first backflip in his introduction kind of thing. And then just woke up to him with celery in his ass running back and forth, and Kobe going, come on, let's go to bed. So that's one. Literally the next time that I tried to actually engage with marijuana was at Jason Sudeikis' house. He invited people over to watch a football game or something, and he brought out an aerator which I had never seen and I didn't understand
Which
the
is
purpose.
just like a vaporator.
A vapor- Yes,
you know,
you put there's like a plastic
The
bag.
volcano.
The volcano. That's exactly what it was. But he takes it out, and he's there, and a couple cast members, a couple writers, and I very earnestly see him take this thing out and put the plastic bag on and go, "Is that a cotton candy maker?" So this is my journey. Then maybe skipping one, the last since like
We don't
actual
wanna talk
time I
about the
tried.
third one.
I think it was insignificant. I think that was maybe the half, right?
Right.
Then, and this is the best one, and it was with Keenan, and then I was talking to him about it recently.
He's awesome, by the way. I
he's
know you
the
guys are friends with him.
Best
He's
person,
the greatest,
best,
the
funniest,
greatest human in the
greatest.
He's
best.
so special.
Yes,
He really is.
Yes, he is. He's one of a kind.
That's a perfect word for it. Too.
He is. Yeah.
It's cool that you feel that way knowing him personally.
Yeah, I would go as far as saying like you can't express how just wonderful he is, but that's it. He's
And-
very special
and
He's really
consistent.
great, wonderful. Yeah,
I've used that word for him too. It's
Yes.
just
reliable, wonderful. Same.
You're saying
comedic-
reliable as a comedian, as a comedian partner?
Everything. He's just
Yeah.
a good dude, and
Yes.
his mood has never changed.
Unflappable.
Completely unflappable, and
I don't know what unflappable means.
Hard
Is this
to
another
hard,
duck thing?
hard to yeah. I've become a bird watcher during COVID, so all of my slang is aviary based.
Oh man, I mean, what a
I'll
fun
catch
game
you on
to
the
play.
fly.
But,
I'll catch you on the fly.
yeah,
This is my wingman.
don't burn them all now.
How
gotta
much longer do I have to be here?
quack quack.
I don't know. I mean, what do you want to fly
I think we
east? when
beaked pretty early.
What's that?
I think we beaked pretty early.
But did you hear mine?
You gonna fly east?
Oh, because you have to fly west. I said because you know how
But
birds
it's
do
north
that.
south.
Yeah, but you live.
Well, don't tell people.
We'll
The
leave it.
duck-billed platypus.
Now everybody's gonna think I'm a west side snob.
The duck-billed platypus has feet like a duck, but it's furry.
You know what's fun about what's happening right now?
That was just a fact.
A lot of things, but I'm curious to hear your top three.
These are, and I mean this with, the most disrespect. No, I'm just kidding. These are, we are,
VR
at least,
troopers.
Thank you. Each other's sentences. This so nerdy. The jokes we're doing are so nerdy.
Yeah.
The reference, nothing is like cool about the bird things. You guys are so fucking disgusting. No, I was kidding. But just like, it's cool that this is cool now. It's cool that this is funny. Like this, these are my.
Do you think that it's this though, or do you think that like authenticity is what is encouraged and cool?
I think that, but also something superficial and just being honest.
Just nerd culture, you mean?
Nerd culture, but also just three people who are paying their bills doing comedy. So it clearly objectively is working. And this is what we do with it. And I appreciate you guys coming over. I know this is a podcast, but just like,
Sure.
I don't know, like you guys are the kind of guys that I would be able to be friends with when I was a kid. And this wasn't like, we're not invited places. At least I wasn't. And like, they're just making like the guys I'm playing Magic with and why don't you fly west? And just, I don't know, it just feels like jokes that are like dorky.
Yeah.
And now it's like, no, that's what I see as cool. I've told you this a couple of times.
Yes.
You're just a cool guy to me.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Thank you right back at you.
I'm a big fan, but I've
Not
met
cool,
him
though?
a little
Not
bit.
cool?
Not cool.
Well, I don't know yet.
Just a fan.
Big fan.
Thanks.
Big fan. Someone
That's
I wanted
awesome.
for a while.
I was real
to
happy to
have on
meet you
here.
the other day.
Yeah,
We just
thanks,
met
man.
recently.
I know.
We
How
met-
was that?
We did this NBC. I don't know really what it was.
Me neither, but we went and we had a
Press
blast.
thing. When there's a shot of it.
Thank you. And then you ate it, right? Oh, was it wet on your fingers?
Always licks his fingers while he's eating.
I
It
don't
drives
love
me
this
nuts. He
game.
doesn't wait.
I'm really not
The
liking
showrunners
this game.
of Hacks taste delicious.
Okay, we'll go like this.
Do you mind if I take this off to do?
I would. That's the show, guys. We'd have to fly
Every
north.
cord yanked from the walls.
And I saw Bobby was there and doing some interview thing, and that was my opportunity because I'll speak to the audience here, I guess, for a second. I texted Taran. I've been wanting to have more like me and two people that are friends with each other on. And who could it be that I've had on the podcast?
Was that like from the Charlotte episode? Because that was a fun one.
I did do that one, yes, but I've done a few of them.
Okay.
But there's a dynamic that is, especially because you've already been on a couple times, so I feel like you're established in this universe.
Yeah.
So let's bring your world in and, let me take advantage of it, me wanting to be part of that world.
Great.
And Bobby, in my head, when I first approached you, it was confidence. If I wanted to be like, hey man, I'm the guy that you're doing the podcast with. I just want to introduce myself. But as I said, Bobby, I realized, I don't even know if he'll remember what that
we reached
it's not
out
like
and
Taran just texted him.
It's also in that environment.
Sure.
Anyone who approaches me and says, "Hey," I immediately go, "Hi, how are you? I'm Bob." Like,
What is it about that environment?
I feel like I'm working. I feel like
Because it's a bunch of actors and stuff.
It's just a work event.
It's a work of it's like I was told to come here by my job, so I have to act a certain way, kind of. That's what that felt like. But it's also I am not somebody who I think seeks to hang out with other actors. So I get there was a lot of other actors there, and you know them, and it's weird to be in a room with Christian Slater and
I thought you were going to
have to be
Christians.
normal.
Christians,
You know,
it's weird.
It
know.
was.
That's why I hang out with comics.
I was very on guard. I went immediately to Nicole Byer and Anna Gasteyer because I know them.
Sure.
Yeah.
And Elle Fanning was extremely wonderful and nice to me. Got to talk to Jessica Biel, who I haven't seen in a long time.
It's one of many things that I love about you, though, is that your engagement with the biz, with the industry, is not to hustle and not to schmoot, right? You are authentically Bobby, even though you're like, I'm working and I'm self-aware. You're still authentically Bobby in that if you do approach someone, it's most likely because you love them and you know about their work, or you're a fan. Like your passion comes from being a fan of things, and I think that's one of our bonding qualities.
Yes, I agree.
Always the same.
Always
we love
when we
being
approach somebody,
fans.
it's because we're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry to bother you, but I love your work. You're thinking the thing.
That's how it felt, and I didn't know I would feel that way when I wanted to just introduce myself, get in, get out, just like kind of reinforce. So when you came over, hey, we met. Why didn't you say hello? And then as soon as I said, hey, Bobby, and you came over, and you just like you said, you go hi, and then I'm like, now I actually felt kind of. Not like, oh no, what do I do? But there was like it is me going up to a guy that I'm a fan of, that if this connection hadn't happened, I would have wanted to introduce myself to you, but like, I don't know. It felt like, I'm like, hey man. And then all of a sudden I got like, And then later you came up to me and you said something like, hey man, I remember what you're talking. I had no idea what you were talking about before. And now I know. And there was like a certain ease at that. I'm like, oh yeah, because it felt like a little bit like, oh yeah, man. Like it wasn't.
I definitely went like, hey man, what's up? How are you? And did a very like positive, like I'm happy to be here.
And then it didn't match what I said to you.
No, not at all. And
hey
then
man, we're doing a podcast. Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm nervous now.
Yeah.
Great.
And then when you came up to me, you remembered or something?
Well, no, I was about to do an interview and they're pulling you over there, and you came over and said something. And then while I was doing the interview, I was thinking, I understand what just happened. I'm going to go over there and not be fake.
Great. Yes.
And I did.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was fake. I mean, yeah, you know.
Oh, no, I'm the fakest human in the world sometimes, I think. It's just out of fear.
Do you still feel that way?
What?
What's the fear that you feel now?
No, I feel a lot better now. I was anxiety, fear of interacting with people.
Because you may make them uncomfortable. You don't know what to do to fit in. What's the fear?
I think now it's more just pandemic, and I haven't seen anybody in a while, and like those, like it's just weird talking to people. But also at those, like I would much rather bullshit in a corner and be weird than like walk up to someone famous and just start a conversation to have my picture taken with talking to that person. I don't know. I just don't think of that side. I just don't, it's not, I don't know. I just don't think of that side of it. Like I'm not that great at that. It doesn't enter my brain.
I gotta zoom in on this for a second, just because I'm very, very curious. So I apologize if I'm forcing you into something. Just say I don't know, dude.
I don't know, dude.
Let me ask you. Let me think about it for a second. Because I connect so strongly with this, and I want to know how you think about this.
I'm not upset in any way.
So
I'm also realizing that I'm talking in this voice still because I've been doing a voiceover all day.
Oh, hilarious.
And I'm still kind of going into that voice. I apologize.
What voice are you doing? I didn't pick up on it.
I started to. I'm going.
Funny.
I've been doing it for 3 hours, and I'm realizing
rhythm
that I'm
of it?
still
What's
like
the voice?
going into the dumb voices.
Hilarious.
Well, yeah. I was just doing a voiceover where I was talking like this and kind of being a little
Formal?
a little guy. No, well, I mean, 90% of my things are formal.
Well, let's actually. Who's the character that you're voicing?
I can't tell you.
Oh, well, I can. Ladies and gentlemen, Han Solo and Darth Sidious.
You lack faith.
Hey everybody, it's me, the Star Wars guy. I'm here to shoot you in the space.
Exactly. It's interesting because Darth Sidious is pre New
Come closer. Bundle yourself in my robe.
Me?
All of them.
All of us?
Thank you very much. Also, I'm a scoundrel smuggler. Have you seen my dog, man?
Let's do it. We are the
members of the All-American Team. We come from cities near and far. We are Canadians, Irish ones and Swedes. We're all for one, we're one for all. We're all Americans.
Han Solo and Darth Sidious.
So good.
My home planet is Corellia.
I don't know what
Fast
this-
friends, those two.
Yeah, they were so touchy-feely. That was surprising.
Yeah, it's weird. They're on different sides.
Yeah.
And
Well,
also,
I think that's just
Darth Sidious isn't who he says he is.
No, yeah, exactly. Don't go canon.
I don't do.
Don't
yeah.
go.
I don't. Just not
Don't go
everybody
into the
sees
lore.
everything. No, I don't want people in case I haven't seen.
Oh, don't spoil.
Yeah.
Got it.
Now to pay for the animation, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Whew, man, there's just a huge shit. Whoa, what's this? Wow, this is really cute. Should I try it on? I'll try it, for size. So cute. I think that this fits. It's a small because I'm skinny. I'm Kevin Bacon's daughter, and I take huge shits.
Okay, great.
Oh, I love you, buddy.
I love you, dude.
Good to see you.
Yeah,
I
great.
love you too, Rick.
I love you. This is very cool. This is very cool to see.
Yeah.
I've known you for a bit now, but
Yes.
as I said to you, at least on the first podcast, you were part of the generation I grew up watching. I mean, we're the similar age, but I was still watching in my
Yeah.
then,
Well, it's-
a
yeah.
lot. And then-
SNL?
yeah, I mean the '90s, but then also
How old are you?
37, so similar age.
No, it's so weird. Sorry, it's very odd to me. That is something that I do not understand when someone comes up to us. Sorry, he's being very fancy. When someone says like, "Oh, I grew up with you on SNL," like that's insane. Like that's an insane statement to me because it just is. Like it just makes it doesn't compute correctly. So when you said it to Taran, I got very confused.
But the grow up doesn't mean when I'm 9. Like I'm just
Well, to me,
starting out as a comedian in my 20s. I'm watching people who are doing the thing that I would, like the job that
Yeah.
I want to get to.
Yeah.
So it's like, and also it's somebody that's feels accessible because it's not like a different generation. It's like, oh, these are, like that's the next step type of thing.
Yeah.
gotcha.
But same with you. But I don't know you as I met you. But now
Yes.
to have you both here, but also and to see your friendship and the way you guys talk to each other makes me think of a little bit the way Brent and I talk about each other.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just like, but you guys are like, oh, that's it's Bobby and Taran. It's cool.
Oh, thanks,
And
buddy.
it's nice. It seems like a really beautiful friendship.
It's the first time we've been cool.
It is. It's the first time we've ever felt cool.
But
For
he's
sure.
he's your best friend, and you're only one of his best friends.
I can live with that, but I did not. I will also
He
go
didn't-
as far as saying I didn't say
He
you were
didn't.
my
He
best
didn't
friend.
say. He didn't list me number one. No.
Oh,
Who stank? Right.
were either
Yeah,
of you,
if I had to say so, probably. Well, actually,
think that- I accept
it's
that.
so weird. I have a lot
Bryn?
of men in my life. Mike Henry, the man who married me. I've known him since we were children. He's another Keenan.
Yeah.
He's a Keenan. He's been there forever. Draws, same thing. I have a good friend named Stank Draws.
put up his Instagram handle here.
Yep. It's at, I forget what I think it's just at Stank Draws. Oh no, it's at Draws Remembered. He's the greatest too. But Taran's like my brother. Taran's like we went through a very similar insane thing together. Then
tell that.
and
We-
then we
we-
made a movie together. One
we
of my
stepped
greatest
away.
moments in my entire life is lifting Taran out of a lake in
Yeah.
Oregon.
Yeah.
That was
That was a very fun summer. Yeah.
Well, we're not in on that, and I don't know what that means.
We shot a film called Brother Nature. That was not the working title.
What was it called?
And brother-in-laws.
Brothers-in-laws.
Brother-in-law.
I don't know
It was
this
the
movie.
wrong.
Brother-in-laws.
It was the wrong version of brother-in-law.
And it was sort of like Meet the Parents meets Great Outdoors
Did
kind
you
of
like
thing.
it?
And
Was it good?
I would say it was just.
I
what
love
about-
it. I know
what about Bob?
I know what I would do differently.
Bob?
But
Is
there's
that
a
what-
lot of there's a lot of inspiration
good
for
movie.
What About Bob? And there's stuff in it that I think is genuinely very, very funny.
Keenan's in it.
Keenan's in it.
Michael
He's
Bryan.
ludicrous.
You guys did this early into when you got SNL?
2015,
Yeah.
something like that.
I want to go back because a couple of things. We got to hear about your fourth and fifth
The
weed,
final weed.
or 3 and 4.
The final weeding.
But you were talking about, you walked in, you thought that Jenny Slate just said the F word. You guys
Yeah.
were meeting. Will you talk about how you guys bonded on SNL? Or is that not what the story was?
Not that night. That
Yeah.
was just the first time
We
we
met.
spoke to each other.
The first time I physically saw you in life.
Right. Yeah.
And did you remember
Yeah.
him when he got the show? You're like, oh, I met this guy a year ago, or
It's funny. I didn't remember him from that. I remember him from. I saw something he did. Like he was doing impressions on Scrubs, or like it was like
Yeah.
maybe like an extra feature or something.
Yeah.
It was
Bill
like
Lawrence, friend of the show.
he's here right now in animated form.
oh, he's actually the camera guy.
Yeah, he has been he cast me in a pilot when I was like 22, 23. And because of doing that pilot, I met my wife. That's how I met the mother
From How to Meet Your Mom.
from How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Mom.
How I Met Your Mama.
How's that the first time I've ever heard you make that joke?
I don't know.
I'm angry.
Well, what you gonna do about it? I'm sorry,
What do you guys think of that?
man.
What do you guys think of that
Like
bit?
and subscribe.
Yeah.
It definitely worth derailing the natural conversation that was happening.
Listen, man, live editing, my instincts aren't perfect.
I love it.
I get
it's
it.
Great.
They're not perfect.
It's great.
And sometimes you miss a lot.
It's a new form. It's a new form of improv. It's a new improv rule. Stop. Wait. How about?
Yes.
Never say no.
Yes.
Always say yes and occasionally say stop. Wait. How about?
when I was,
Stop. Wait. How about? that would catch on in an improv theater.
if I could learn from this, and I won't, it's that I had this idea for the bit I wanted to try, but then you guys kept talking, and that's where I'd just be like, just let this one go. But like I was visualizing it, and I wanted it.
Sorry, Mark. While we're continuing having a natural conversation, just slowly push in on Rick, and then just do like bubble animation of him thinking of bits. Or later, you can do like a voiceover of like, I have an idea for a bit, but I don't know what should I say. You go like, I know, huh? I'll say, stop, wait, how about? And then when we go like, it's a new form of improv, I'll say, maybe you should start an improv school. And then Mark, pay for a production and build a set for a commercial that's in the middle of all of Glassman's commercials now that goes,
Funny stuff, Bobby and Taran. Hi, I'm Rick Glassman of the Take Your Shoes Off podcast, and this week's episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Blue Chew happens to be one of the oldest advertisements we ever had on the Take Your Shoes Off podcast. Check out this clip from 2019 with Joe Coy. We did it. We got advertisers. Well, an advertiser. And if there's anything I like more than advertisers, it's getting big, fat, hunky boners. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you Blue Chew. Guys, do you remember the days when you were always ready to go? I know I do. I used to have boners so big that that people were impressed by them. Whoa, talk about a blast from the past. But let's also talk about how Blue Chew is a unique online service that offers the same active ingredients as Cialis and Viagra, but in chewable form.
And at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew tablets help men achieve harder, stronger erections for all forms of ED.
That's right, girl cousin Annabella. And here's the best part. Boners rock. Don't like swallowing pills? No problem. Blue Chew's tablets are chewable. Don't like swallowing big loads of cum? Then I'm not wasting my boner on you. I'm sorry, I was just doing it. I was just trying to sound cool.
Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA, and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy.
And here's a special deal for our soft boppers out there. Try Blue Chew free using promo code TYSO at checkout.
Just pay $5 shipping.
That's BlueChew.com, promo code TYSO for your first month free. Girls, give me 1 sec. I'm finishing up this advertisement. Okay, but there's 10 of us. Do you think you can pleasure all of us? I don't think that'll be a problem.
Hey, have you ever wanted to try improv? Then come to Rick Glassman's School for Improv, where you'll learn the 3 big rules. Never say no, always yes and occasionally say stop, wait, how about?
So what you're
This
doing
is Rick Glassman's Improv School, brought to you by Sealy Posturepedic.
Helix Sleep, and that's
Helix Sleep,
HelixSleep.com/TYSO for up to $200 off all mattress orders.
Splash.
The way you were making fun of me legitimately made me mad.
Okay.
And
okay.
No, you're right. It made me mad because you're right. It's me reading a comment that says stop interrupting. I'm like, I know, man. Bad instinct.
No, do you want to know what it is? It's my thing of like hearing. You're not the worst. The worst is Smartless. Smartless is 25% of it is ads, and all of those guys are doing great already, right? So it's my thing where I go like, how much?
Wait a minute. I do 2 to 3 ads an episode. Most people do 4.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying you're not the worst, but my bit is I think it came organically out of like, oh, I was here in the beginning and now you're like at 100 and change and now you got ads and I did that, but I have a separate relationship to like podcasts in general of like that constant debate of like, should I try one? And oh, they're indulgent or there's enough. You can be a guest on people. That's plenty. You know, it's that dance that's constantly going. And then the question of like ads are such a big part of it. How much?
I'm still leasing. I don't have a house. But also, I wasn't talking about that. I was more talking about you're like
Can I ask you this question?
What do you guys think? Come on, you can do better than that. What do you guys think?
Oh, really? Fine. Wait, I know. Darth Sidious. I really want to ask Rick a question. Will you come back and use your Dark Force powers on him? Okay, that's fine. I don't have to ask. Oh, hey, what's up, guys?
Now we must go home.
My home planet is Corellia.
What were you going to ask?
My question is, one episode of your Amazon show.
Yeah.
To match that, how many ads do you have to do?
Oh.
Because then I can at least use union minimum or what your union average.
Net or what? Or because after
gross, and I'll do my own tax work.
Well, what about representation?
No, I don't need to know that.
Well, it's packaged with CAA, so it's 15%.
Okay.
How many ads? Okay.
So for one, you get episode 1.
Yeah. 30.
Wow. Okay.
Gross.
Gross. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. That is,
and I do. So
that's a higher
episodes.
number.
That's 10 episodes.
Yeah. That's a higher number than I would have thought.
Does that mean because you thought I would have been making more on my podcast or less on the show? I'm
more
making
on the podcast.
$400,000 an episode on the show.
Okay. Great.
Keep that. No, I don't.
I know.
Oh, hey, dude.
Hey, man. Yeah. Once you guys start talking about industry stuff, I go, get that little green thing over there.
Oh, no, you're not supposed to say that. They're
I
African
said the
American.
green thing. I said
Bobby, African American. Bobby, African American.
That's not why I'm here, Rick.
Okay. So, how are you guys feeling?
Great. Just great.
I like your socks.
I can revitalize my Keenan Weed story.
That's right.
We were doing a pre-tape for SNL. That's like a digital short or a video that seems like it's filmed and is not a live sketch.
Right.
They film either Thursday, more likely Friday nights. You start around 11 p.m. and you'll normally shoot till 5, 6, 7 in the morning.
Why? Really?
Yes, that's just the way that's what Andy and Yorma and Akiva did to the show. No, it's just because that's just the only time you're rewriting, you're rehearsing. They have it's gotten much better, but when I was like in the final 2 seasons of my show, they were doing 4 pre-tapes a week, guaranteed. And when I got there, it was like
meaning till 4 in the morning.
When I started in 2008, if we were in one pre-tape sketch a week, it was insane.
Yes,
because there's so much.
By the time I left, I didn't go to rehearsals on Thursday and Friday anymore at all.
Yeah,
because we would just be pre-taping for like 48 hours.
Yes, it happened more than once that I left my home
On
in
Wednesday.
New York Thursday for a rewrite. No, Wednesday.
Wednesday night.
Jesus.
Oh, you wrote too.
Wednesday
Yeah,
for
we
a
all did.
rewrite.
Right.
Everybody does. So you go in for Wednesday for the rewrite. I'm gonna retract. The rewrite didn't normally affect it, but what happened is I'd leave Thursday for rehearsal around 11 noon on Thursday. I'd rehearse till 3, 4, 5 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
I'd get picked up from the studio to go shoot a pre-tape that would, and this happened at least 2 times, maybe 3. Shoot all the way till 5 or 6 in the morning, get picked up in a car from that shoot, be taken to a place upstate, film a pre-tape commercial till 2 or 3 in the afternoon, be driven back to the studio to rehearse sketches, live sketches till 11 or p.m. or midnight, then go from there to a final pre-tape and not be back in my bed having left at 11 or 12 on Thursday till like 7 a.m. on Saturday.
Isn't there union?
Buddy.
Tell me.
It just didn't matter.
Because this episode's sponsored by SAG.
Oh,
I watched them
but
put
the old SAG, not SAG after us.
I watched
SAG.
them put Jay Farrow in one of the most intricate homeless costumes. He had twigs in his hair.
Is that Blockbuster?
He had no, it was the one.
That was a
It was
crazy
the
shoot.
one that was 24. It was 24 hours.
A
that
full
shoot,
24-hour
a
shoot.
full 24-hour
Yeah.
shoot. That one.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was the one where Daniel Radcliffe was playing
the Spin the Bottle,
and
that's
it just
right.
kept landing on homeless people.
Yes.
And Jay Farrow had one line in the sketch, and it was the
Yeah,
last line of the sketch, and he
remember
was
that.
dressed, and he had like dirt on his face. He had his shopping bags around his shoes with
Yeah.
rubber bands
Yeah.
on them and dirt all over him, and he sat there for 17 hours.
Yeah.
17 hours straight.
Yeah.
He just sat there. He fell asleep, woke up, and then we shot the last, like his part. We did it. It was like the last thing we did at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was so long. They let him impose
Right.
and do a bunch of stuff, and it aired that night. And it cuts to Jay, and he goes, "Ah!" And that
That's
was
it. He goes,
he was like, "Motherfucker!" He was
It's just
so
that.
angry.
It's just that. Yeah.
I have a question that you're not going to have an answer to, but I think about all the time, and
Okay.
maybe you could offer perspective. That's what this stuff is. I know it's business, but it's talking about this is showbiz for actors, but just the logistics of this. You do something, you have to show up so early, you have to stay so long. They don't need you, but they bring you in, I guess, because maybe they'll want to get to you earlier. That's just the way the workflow works, and there's a lot of moving parts, and it does help them. Is there something that you feel should be different? Do you feel it's disrespectful to actors?
No.
You think that this is the way the pie is made?
I think the example that we're talking about with SNL is a unique circumstance because there is nothing like SNL really,
Right.
and there won't be again. It just is singular. It is one of a kind.
Right.
And I think that a lot of not that this is ever said out loud directly, but the vibe that's passed down and around is like, you're at SNL, like,
Right.
just be grateful kind of thing. And
Is that fair?
100%.
Because it's such an elite.
Everything.
I
that-
think it was starting to change.
Yeah,
by the time
I
I
think-
was leaving, that was starting to change.
I think so for
Change
sure.
in which way?
Maybe we should not work people this long
Right.
because that was also new. Like what they didn't have eventually was to say like, it's just always been this way. Like,
Well, Leslie Jones showed up,
right.
and was just
And
like,
tell
"We're
me-
not doing it this
she'll
way."
tell you
anymore.
what's wrong. Yeah.
And they
She'll-
listen.
she'll-
Lauren listens to her?
Yeah. I think so. I think
What is it about her that made
she
a
just
voice?
she just doesn't
I think
fuck
she
around.
was just the
She's
first
no
person that
filter.
walked through those doors and
Yes.
wasn't afraid
Yes.
to go.
Yeah, exactly.
I want this.
Yes. Or you're never going to have me do this again.
Were
know?
you guys afraid when you were veterans of the place?
I
Still?
remember one conversation in a car back from a shoot with a high-ranking producer when I was like, this is really hard. Like you can't keep, and I do think if this is the way it is, it's going to start to affect the show just
Right.
because like they would do things where like you're supposed to be at the studio on Saturday at noon to then be there till the show wraps at 1. But like if you'd done a pre-tape, it's like come in at 2. And like one time I was like, I can't make it till 4. I slept through. It wasn't
when
like
you got home at 7?
yeah, I slept through. And
I remember that day.
Yeah, they sent a PA to my apartment and to like buzz up because I just slept through my alarm. So like there was little compromise, but I was in the car and I tried to be like, I think you should look at this. I think and got like almost verbatim, like, what are you going to do? It's just what's popular right now. The pre-tapes,
Why is it that you feel like when I said, do you think it should change? You're like, no, that's what it is because it's such a special thing.
I didn't say no, it shouldn't change. I said it's fair. It's fair that that's the sentiment. I definitely think it should change, and I definitely think it's not necessary. And as to Bobby's point, I thought
you meant more like actors, like meaning like we're like we should be. Well, everybody is at SNL.
Yes.
Everybody is making this thing, and even though we were there for 17 hours, the reason why we did pre-tapes at 2:00 in the morning was because the set and costume people,
of course,
had to have time to make
it.
them, and then we wouldn't be able to get. And then the only time we had was that.
Yeah,
and also. It got crazier when I first started, it was like the costumes were like whatever. And then me and Taran showed up and started making them make Star Wars costumes and Marvel costumes. And I remember like having a moment where the costume people were like, you and Taran, like you guys write these things where we have to make $1 billion costumes.
Yes.
Like, and like, I don't
So
think they loved
that when
us
writing
for
them?
that.
Like to reuse characters you've already done because the costumes are made, or to not do stuff?
I don't know. It was always like
whenever I got lost at SNL, I would pick a costume I wanted to wear and
What do you mean
start
lost?
from there. Like whenever I was like, I don't know what to do this week. I was like, I'm going to be
That's
Buzz
funny.
Lightyear.
That's
like,
awesome.
or like just
Yeah,
start,
yeah.
or just like figure out some.
Yeah.
Like I was like, or I would just figure out some weird costume that I wanted them to make, and like now I realize how selfish that was. But like, yeah, like,
to go back to your like, why'd you say no? Just
I apologize.
Why'd you say no? I think streams got crossed there a bit. I was saying
Ghostbusters?
cross the streams.
I'm not.
No, I don't think it's unfair to actors in terms of people waiting around, because I've worked enough on the behind the camera of either producing or directing or writing something, and the process is so malleable. It's so
Right.
ever changing.
Yeah.
And I like to think, and I've worked with directors who storyboard it and are prepped and are as efficient, and the best versions of it are probably like on a series where like it's a well-oiled machine. We're not going to bring you in till the 20 minutes for your makeup, and you'll be on set and you'll be wrapped by, know, that does exist. But for an actor, for what the requirement is, which is quite honestly a superficial look more often than not, right? If you sit around and read a book and play on your phone,
Right.
for how competitive it is, for how
Right.
many people want to do it, I don't, even for myself, don't have a ton of sympathy for like, I had to sit there. Like I've almost never been that guy. The only, that Blockbuster shoot was a 24-hour shoot in the cold, in winter, in New York, and we're in polos, like polo t-shirts and slacks and khakis. And the last shot,
Literally the last 15 minutes. We had been shooting for 24 hours, and the last 15 minutes of that shoot at 4:00 in the morning in the freezing cold rain on a New York City street. And it's not that hard. We could be doing construction. We could be digging ditches.
Yes.
We were
Good Will
doing
Hunting.
this, and it's
we
absolutely
could be
wonderful.
in the film Good Will Hunting.
But
No,
there
I meant
is
construction.
there is something demeaning about after 24 hours in the rain, having people just throw eggs at you for 15 minutes.
We're gonna egg you. We're gonna throw eggs, and we're like, okay, but are these practical egg? Like you're actually, they're like, yeah, we're just gonna do it. And like it was like the people they had do it were just some of the crew who were just like loopy and having fun anyway, and it was very painful and it didn't work great. And they were going to do it. They did it at least twice. It was like, we'll throw it on the side so you see it and we'll react. And they're like, we're just going to throw them. And they did that. It was miserable. And they're like, yeah, we don't have any towels or anything for you to wipe off. And I just snapped and I just went, somebody take care of us.
You said that?
Yes.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, that's it. Just like tears in my eyes, furious.
Right.
Somebody take care of us.
It was nuts.
That was, yeah.
That was a crazy
I
morning.
talk to people who are past the part of their either age or career or wants or whatever for SNL. Like I had Will Sasso on recently, and he did Mad TV, and
He's the funniest.
he's
The best.
so funny. And I was talking to him about how much I just love his character work, and it's very broad in a way to where I don't want to sound like a boomer, but at this current climate, there's not that much, relatively speaking, original comedy based around character type stuff for
Okay, boomer.
I miss that type of energy.
Sure.
And he says he loves it and he likes to do that stuff. And I asked if he would want to do SNL. And he said what a lot of people say, also, especially once you get to a certain point, he would love to have done it, blah, blah, blah. But no, he said he was too old and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But what I have heard from a fair amount of people, some of which are still even younger than me, I still think would love to be on SNL, but still say this thing. And where does this come from? Like as they get a little bit older and are already working, they now know that SNL is so hard. It's the hours, the pay, the expectations, the egos, the how competitive, all these things. Even though you're all in it together,
sure.
Watching from afar, it's like, oh, these guys are a team. Does that sentiment make sense? And could you explain why people feel that way and the pros and cons of that?
Yeah, I feel like it's something you want to go do rather, and if like you're already. Like somebody like Will Sasso doesn't need it, like in any way,
right?
Like, you know what I mean? Like he's, like if I was this age,
right?
I don't think I could do SNL anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like I stopped because I couldn't.
Yeah. Oh, is there
like,
also something about being young then the stamina?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like I think about like and also the naivete. Yeah, thank you. Of you don't know once you're there, and then all of a sudden and no one tells you what to do, and like you just live it, you just experience it, and then it happens, and then you come out on the other end changed.
Yeah,
and
I think at this point, nearly 5 decades into its existence,
it's so weird to talk about it. I haven't talked about it in so long.
Yeah,
especially with you.
Yeah. I think it's an institution. I think so. So there's like the strategic, professional part of it, right? It's a career launcher. It'll make a name for you. And I think that is true. But I just think that specifically in comedy, there are so many other avenues, this format being one of them. Like no one, SNL for, close to 30 years was the premier and kind of one of very few comedy launching platforms on American television or in the world. Now you can do your TikTok chain and you can literally probably have more viewers per week than SNL gets live, maybe, you know? So there's that cold part of it, calculating strategy of a career.
There are people on TikTok who have more viewers and make more money now than all we did combined on SNL.
Yes.
A friend of mine, I say this only because I didn't do my due diligence on the statistics, but he's a very, very big podcaster. And we're talking numbers and how millions.
Like in size?
No one watches him. He's just 700 pounds.
Clifford the Big Red Dogs podcast
just came out. We'll put a link in the description.
Keenan in that movie, fantastic in that movie. So is Alex Moffat.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I watch it a lot. I got a 4-year-old.
What the
Sorry,
Clifford movie?
I started talking about the
Clifford
Clifford movie. It's fantastic. Well, Keenan's in it.
It's good.
Keenan's great. Keenan's scene is fantastic.
Shout out to
Alex
Keenan,
Moffat
put his
is
Instagram
great.
handle up here.
Tony Hale. Very good. Very funny people.
That Fallon is the biggest or the most viewed late night at the moment, and it's around 800,000. It's under 1 million viewers.
Right.
And podcast gets 1 million, 2 million the first week, and it keeps going.
Yeah.
But like a podcast doesn't have that. You're not wearing a suit. Podcast doesn't have that same respect, even though it has a broader reach.
Sure. Well, I mean, again, that's an industry thing where I feel like an HBO Max series. I don't know that all of America is like watching Euphoria, but it's hip and cool enough with the right bubble that becomes award fodder and tabloid fodder. Like there's a conversation around it, and I think that's kind of a similar point that you're making.
I was going to say I've never seen an episode of Euphoria, but I've seen all the memes, all the stuff about it. I know characters in it. I know people, and I don't watch the show because it's a thing. But I've never once seen it.
Yes. It's also expensive to get all these different streamers, right? So I think it's about accessibility. But going back to SNL, I think that there's absolutely a romance about it, right? There's a
100%.
fantasy and
It's
an
like
an emotional romance that I bet for Will, even if they did call him now and said, "Hey, do you want to do just one season?" The notch on the belt, right? The badge of being an alumni it matters for the people it matters to. And I think that the people you're having those conversations with have that part of them. I certainly had it for my whole life. I mean, I was on Mad TV with Will, And he was like my favorite person to hang out with because it was the year that the Tenacious D album came out. And we would just sit in his dressing room and he'd play the songs on guitar and we'd laugh. It was like some of my happiest memories. But in terms of like the professional creative, what Bobby said is true. Will's done it. Will's done it and then some. Done it better than a lot of SNL people have done it, you know? But there's that romance for a show, for an institution, a comedic institution that has defined the sensibilities of people of our generation, maybe even slightly higher and below us, right? So that's there. Like, but do you need SNL to have a comedy career or have a successful entertainment career? Not as much as you used to.
It just feels weird to think any one of my peers, if offered SNL, would turn it down, even though they say they don't want to do it and mean it. Don't want to do it because of they're already working and the workload. But yeah, there's something about like, it feels like to me, SNL feels like it, where I am in my career and my age feels like having a three-way. I had two I've never had one. Yeah. I've had two opportunities and both times I got scared to do it. I was too scared. I was young.
I mean, should we have one now?
I'm married.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn. Marriage. Sorry. The greatest ruiner of three-ways.
Bobby Moynihan.
I'm going to suppress the instinct to do the bit to see if we could all fuck each other with animated cocks.
Hold on, how about?
We'll pass it then.
Stop, wait, how about? That's what it was. Stop, wait, how about?
Wait, how about?
Having a three-way feels like, because it's hard enough to connect with one person unless you're in love with them. I don't want to get too much into this, but it's hard for me to have sex with somebody that I'm not connected to. Okay. Even though I would want to, I just sometimes struggle with it.
Okay.
So it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be an obstacle. I'm going to
$40,000.
Yeah, maybe for 40.
All right.
But I'm upset that I haven't done it.
Dance for me. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're an amazing dancer.
Wow. Oh my God. Whoa. Oh. Whoa. Oh God.
Oh man. Why is your dick Darth Sidious?
So I would have liked to have experienced it. I would have liked to have experienced it through. I was like, do I want to have a three now? Kinda, but I would have liked to have done it. I would have liked if this was a notch on my belt.
I get that sense.
But yeah, there's stuff that like, it would have been nice to have experienced, but I think I'm past it. I would have a four-way now.
That's too much.
Yeah.
That's too much. You can't have
that's
a
like
four-way.
being that's like being on a relaunched In Living Color.
A four-way is just two couples having sex.
They're relaunching In Living Color and you get to be on it now. That's what a sexual four-way is in sketch variety late night television.
Right. They think just by like, doing more it'll be better.
Why?
I disagree. Why? The four-way is just the original Smothers Brothers.
I get it. No, I get it. Oh. So your weed story.
Yeah.
Keenan.
3:30 a.m. on a pre-tape. It's snowing. It was called like The Stakeout. It's me and Jay Farrow. Is directed by Matt and Oz.
It was great.
Matt Valines and Oz Rodriguez, who were the directors of Brother Nature. And unfortunately, we lost Matt to cancer, which was a hard, sad thing. But this is a happy story. It's one of their shoots, and they're just the best. And it was always fun. And we're sitting in the car, and Keenan's in the driver's seat. I'm sitting shotgun, and Keenan just lights up. And he goes, "You wanna hit it?" Probably didn't say it that way. I don't do marijuana much, but he said, "Do you want to?"
Probably didn't say a word.
He probably just yes. And and everything that needed to be said was in his glorious eyes. And I'm like, yes, I am on SNL.
That makes
I am
me
a cast member.
So happy.
I am a cast member on SNL doing a 3:30 a.m. pre-tape directed by two people I love in a car with two performers I love. I am gonna smoke weed with Keenan Thompson on a pre-tape at SNL, and I did a big hit and wanted to show that I could do it.
You can tell he smokes pot a lot.
And
I did a big hit.
I did one. I did the first big hit, which was a big breathy
from the marijuana joint.
I did it from the right end too. I did one big hit and did a little cough like that, and Keenan loved that. And I needed to show that I could do another one without the cough part.
Right.
Did. in less than 10 minutes was sitting in shotgun like this, just like literally
Knocked you out.
just and then there was a walkie-talkie for Matt and Oz to like give us direction. They're like we were playing like thugs and they'd be like, Taran, yeah, on this next one, can you just be a little more angry in it? Okay. And they'd be like, action. Yo, man, we gonna get in there. We gonna smoke these fools, man. Come out. I gotta bust 2 caps. Pop, pop, cut. Oh. It was, I don't really remember getting from that car home.
How did you be so knocked out to been able to turn it on right away?
Come on, man.
I think I said this in the first episode, but for somebody who hasn't watched all of them, that was one of the things that turned me on about you. That I saw, I think it was at Bill's house when we did Bill Lawrence, our mutual friend, where we met.
Cameraman.
Oh, hey, man. And I don't remember what it was, but there was something that I just love that some performers have where you don't want to do something. Hey, oh, wait, will you do your thing? Will you play the piano? Will you sing? Nobody, I'm not in here. But something came up and asked to do it. And right away you did it. You did the thing.
Yeah.
But then you sat back and it was just like, oh, you're so locked in to be able to do your thing without worrying about should I not, but without making a meal of it. You just did. It was as if we said, what's your birthday? And you just told us and you went back. Yeah. And I was just like, that's cool. And then I've seen you do it a few times. You sang Hamilton. I'm like, I just out of nowhere asked you to sing Hamilton. And instead of being like, I don't know.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And you just did it, the whole song, and sounded awesome.
Thank you. Okay.
So would you like to stand? If so, I'll reframe, or could you do it seated?
Are you accompanying me or am I doing it a cappella?
A cappella.
Okay. I'll sit.
Perfect.
You say the price of my love's not the price that you're willing to pay. You cry in your tea, which you hurl in the sea when you see me go by. Why so sad? Remember we made an arrangement when you went away. Now you're making me mad. Remember, despite our estrangement, I'm your man. You'll be back, soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. And when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
And we're back.
And that's something that is a certain type of person and a certain type of confidence and a certain type of experience as a performer.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm forcing this, but is there something in that? Because I really ask when you were. You could always do. Could you always show up?
Yeah, I think the show must go on energy, and I've been performing in either community theater or professionally since I was 5 or 6 years old. So I have confidence in that.
Also, that's just all acting over the age of 40. It's just like action, and then you pretend.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
they say cut, you go.
I gotta muscle it up. Fake it till you make it.
I just remember the first time I do not like performing stunt. I just don't enjoy it. I'll rehearse all week stunt, but I was done for the day. Like I finished my rehearsals at SNL. It was the first episode of my second season. It was the week I met you. Megan Fox was hosting.
Yeah.
I went home. I went home. Ew, no.
You don't know what I was doing?
No, I don't.
That was because grabbing her boobs.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's what we thought you were doing.
You can't do that.
No. You're canceled.
Come on, man. That's Megan Fox.
You're canceled.
She's a lady.
I did it again.
I went home thinking I was done for the day, started smoking weed, and then got a call from Akiva that was like, hey, we're doing this bit. It was the week they did Forte and Megan
I love
Fox's
that
digital
date,
short, which
the
is
date.
the funniest.
It's
Which
one of the
one? I don't
best
remember.
pre-tapes. He is on a date with Megan Fox.
It's so weird and so wonderful.
A retired SWAT team captain, but she's giving all this impressive information. But he talks like this, and she's like, "You're so fascinating. I just love everything about you. What do you do in your spare time?" He goes, "Well, I raise lambs." She goes, "Really?" "I groom them, and then we shave their hair and sell their wool for goods. And then when they get to a certain age, I, for lack of a better word, slaughter them and sell their meats." And she goes, "Oh, that must be so hard." He goes, "It's really hard." It's just pure
It's the
uncut
funny-
Forte craziness.
It's just
one
3
of my
minutes
favorites.
of Forte being Forte
Yes,
in the
yes,
best way possible.
yes.
But Akiva and Yorma called me up and they were like, "Hey, we don't know if this one's going to work, so we're doing a second digital short." And I think it was the first time they had ever done that.
Wow.
It was like, we shot that, it's done, but we have
And
decided.
they might not even use it.
But we have
Yeah.
decided last minute just to shoot a completely new
Right.
digital short. And I was like, "What?" And they were like, "And you're in it, so come back." And now I'm stoned. And they're like, "Meet us at the Ace Hotel at 11:30.
Jeez.
And I'm panicking. I get there and I'm naked in a robe with an Optimus Prime mask on, talking to Megan Fox.
Wow.
And I'm stoned out of my gourd going like, what the fuck is happening right now?
I remember that.
It was the
one.
weirdest.
Yeah,
And also,
Brian Austin Green was in that.
Brian Austin Green was in it. Also, the first time ever a pre-tape went past 2 a.m. Can you believe that? 2 a.m. They were like, we got done at 3 a.m. and they were like, "We are so
Hilarious.
sorry." We would start
Wow.
at 2 or 3 a.m. when
Wow.
I was done.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
it was bonkers. And then
That's
they aired
amazing.
both. They aired because Will's was so funny, and then Jenny cursed, and then they aired. It was right after that sketch, and I curse in that sketch. And they have it bleeped out.
Yes.
So it got nothing because people were still like in
man.
shock. It was the weirdest. That was the weirdest.
That's a
Where
weird
you
one.
said naked in a row. Why
Sorry.
naked? What does that mean?
robe.
Well, I had on like underwear and a robe, but still, I'm not. I look at me. I was not psyched to be stoned in a robe with an Optimus Prime mask on, in a bed with Megan Fox.
Did you feel embarrassed?
Yeah. It was really, really weird and scary and terrifying.
Yeah.
It was so bizarre. But if you watch that, you never see my face in the whole thing. But if you watch it, I'm terrified and stoned.
Let me ask you about being embarrassed in performing. I don't remember who this was with, but I had a podcast recently. I think it was with Giannis Pappas, talking about there are certain things that we're insecure about as humans, whatever it might be, bodies, hair, penis, comedy, voices, whatever the thing is, you don't think about it, but then something comes up and you're embarrassed and you don't want to do something. I have found though, when I'm on stage, in particular doing stand-up, not as much acting, all the insecurities either go away or they're just like I'll do anything for a laugh almost, you know, like not, I guess kind of in a pathetic way, but also in like a commitment way. Like, you do it if it's on camera, if it's context, if I'm in control of it, I'm not embarrassed, but turn the cameras off and I have to get out of here. Do you feel that ever? Is there something about knowing it's for the bit where you could overcome something, or does that not connect?
I think it's just, for me, it's just changing. Like, I mean, like, there were points where we would throw ourselves through a brick wall at SNL and it would hurt and we would love it and do it again and all that stuff. Or like, you know, hey, here's your costume for this sketch. You're in a big diaper. And you're like, oh, okay, all right. And, you know, like that kind of stuff. And now at 45, I go like, all right, maybe I don't need to wear the big diaper right now. Maybe I could just, maybe I've already worn the big diaper.
What is that though? Is it standing up for ourselves, or we're done with it? We don't think it's funny anymore. I did it already. The endurance.
I think it's just life. Yeah, it's just, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I have like embarrassment about it. Like I think embarrassment is kind of the lifeblood of comedy.
Same.
Yeah. But what is a close cousin to that is hopefully taste and maturity. Like that's a thing where I go like, I don't feel comfortable doing this because
We're being
I know this won't age well. I know that this feels like I'm punching down. I know, like I've learned that in my comedy career, certainly, where like this cliche or stereotype or take on this person, you know, there's plenty of like, if I could go back,
Right.
I would ask not to do that.
You were saying treated.
Well, I was saying for me, it's like I don't think I've ever been like embarrassed by like, look at this goofy thing I'm doing. That's what we signed up for. But like it's more about how I'm being treated. Like I did a job recently where they were like, oh man, we love you so crazy. Like, will you go do this and lick this wall and do this dumb, stupid thing? And like, then you just get that old puppet feeling and you're like, well, I'm a human also. Like, I'm not going to lick the dirty ground because you want me to. And it's funny. Like maybe I would have done that when I was 12 because I didn't know any better, like the director.
Right.
But like now I'm like, okay, you want me to lick the ground. Is the ground clean?
Right.
Like, you know, like it's just like I've learned and like I respect myself more.
Sure. Yeah.
But, like, I think it's just instead of embarrassment, it's like how you're being treated in that moment.
Yeah. The subjectivity of comedy is a fascinating thing, right? And being given a note by somebody who maybe doesn't have the same bona fides in comedy of like pitching you and all, you know, more and more I respectfully go like, no, thanks. I don't, that doesn't work for me.
Not embarrassment, but just the ease of saying, maybe not that one.
Yeah.
Like Leslie Jones.
Yeah, Leslie Jones, has had that.
I wish I had an ounce of that.
Yeah.
Have you tried keeping a towel in the back of your pants?
For what
Leslie
reason?
does that.
Does she? Just for sweat?
Right, for
or
sweat
just,
and stuff?
Yeah, she keeps a towel in the back of the pants.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, I think that's just a good thing to have.
That's just moisture control.
I was a bartender for many years. I had a rag in my back pocket for years. I like that.
I remember I saw a football player do it once. I was in college.
Yeah.
And when I was in college, I was working out all the time in the gym, shooting hoops, doing my thing.
Because of your muscles?
I was, put up pictures of my muscles, and then I was just like, it's the bottom of the net. Get us a Glassman. Pick up Glassman. Will you run with us? Let me do arms.
Yeah.
Or, legs.
Sure.
But
hey, Glassman, come over here for a second. Hey, listen, some of the guys don't like how intense you get on the court.
Oh, yeah, that was later on. Because I was...
I'm just saying the whole story is...
I got kicked out of a basketball game with comedy writers because they weren't the type of athletes who kept the towel in the back of their pants. He's referencing I got kicked out of Bill Lawrence's... I was in Bill Lawrence's basketball game for years.
Remember that, Bill?
I got kicked out for a little bit for being too much.
And you took your hurt and you turned it into art.
Yep.
Hit that, Baldy. Good take, you idiot. Get back! Cut! Ball! Hey, did I do that? Whoopsies. Urkel, bitch.
You know what I mean? You don't know what I mean. That's not good. When you're on the text chain taunting people like, I'm gonna butt fuck you tonight, when you say shit like that...
I'm joking. I'm not gonna butt... I've never butt fucked. Ever. Have you?
Yeah, it's great. I've done it a lot. You should try it. It's great, but it's besides the point.
Yeah, I maybe at least showed a clip. I have this thing that I made years ago that I never shared, but I made... Bill Lawrence kicked me out of this game. He sent me this long, beautiful email that brought me into so much awareness. It was all a beautiful, sweet thing, but it was an uncomfortable situation. And I ended up making this sketch short thing about it. Joel McHale played Bill Lawrence, and the script was the email he sent. So I got to, but I was playing like a less aware version of myself. So I got to like make fun of this thing that was both one of the most beautiful, life-changing things for me and also broke my heart so much and was so confusing. But before that, I was a great ball player, and I kept the towel. I kept the towel in the back just because I thought that's what athletes were. So when I saw Leslie Jones do that, I just
she was a basketball player. She was very good. She's a college level basketball player.
I would love to play her 1-on-1.
I would love to see that. Well,
here's where we get the studio.
Is that not? Yeah. So Mark, I want you to reach out to Leslie Jones's camp.
Sure.
she just burst through the window.
Make
like
a
the Kool-Aid
six-figure offer.
I'd like to do that.
Yes,
I'd like to do that.
Too. That's what you have to do.
So when he's
yeah, she burst through the window, but it's just her saying her catchphrase from Supermarket Shopping Spree,
which is,
"We're shopping, bitches." I don't know.
Is that really it? I would think there's a 90% chance that's true.
Yeah, it's a version of that.
All right.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi, Leslie.
It's so good to see you.
Mm-hmm. We're shopping, bitches!
Oh, that's really sweet.
Oh my God.
No.
Oh
that's
my
our
God.
friend. Don't.
No, what? Oh my God. Rick's having a foursome with Leslie Jones, Darth Sidious,
and Han Solo.
And Han Solo.
This episode is going to cost me $9,000 and it's going to get me in trouble. No, but we do have fun here. So now you guys are on SNL, and then you're done with SNL, and now you're living your life.
Yeah.
You got spouses, you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
And then it's like, when do you guys catch
No,
up?
it's Spouses Night Live now.
We catch up a decent amount. I mean, him and Vanessa more than anybody else from SNL for me. And Bobby more than most of my friends because he's one of my best
For
friends.
me, it's Lauren.
Yeah, he gets. Lauren calls you at the end of the day.
He just goes, "What happened to you today?" And I tell him, and he goes, "Bye."
Do you guys still talk ever?
Yeah, he's very nice.
So what does that happen? It's like you keep in touch just because you guys work together for so long? It's just like a how you doing?
I mean, for me, it was like he reached out a bunch when my daughter was born.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Like, you know, when nice things happen in your life that they see,
And he just finds out about it.
I send him like happy birthday, Merry Christmas, you know, like stuff like that.
Does he still have
I
a you don't?
No.
Well, here's your opportunity.
He's right behind the camera.
Oh, Bill, you brought your buddy Lauren. Lauren, thank you for changing my life. Thank you for being the first person to facilitate the experience of flying in a private jet.
I never did that. I was too afraid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Like a three-way?
Yeah, no, it was just like, "Do you want to come back on Lauren's jet?" And I was like, "No, I can't. I'm staying an extra day." And then like was afraid I was going to see them at the airport.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to get on that plane.
I did it 2 or 3 times. It was amazing.
I was
It was a lovely,
Scared of what?
lovely.
Of the private plane itself or being with him?
Making small talk on a plane.
Sure.
I
I get
also, it was an overnight flight. I snore terribly. I was just like, not happening.
You're good at small talk.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
I think actually you're the best
He's
in the
good at-
business at small talk.
He's good at
Oh,
making
wow.
people feel at ease.
Oh, thank you. I don't.
You don't think that?
No,
I
don't feel that way.
don't
You really don't?
enter into what would be labeled small talk, trying to make small talk. I for myself, it's like, let's see if we can learn something about each other in this time. That's the secret.
That's why I don't feel that way. I feel that with you, there's such a sincerity,
Sure.
but also such a goofball.
Yeah.
And I like to live in those at the same time.
Uh-huh.
You're one or the other.
Okay.
And it sometimes confuses me a little bit.
Sure.
When there's a switch that you made that I am late on picking up on.
Okay.
And I'm not there yet.
Sure.
But you still let me live in mine.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I mean,
Okay.
whatever. It's not that I don't like it, but I shouldn't say I don't like it. It confuses me.
Okay.
There was a time he came over. The last time he came over, I was in a weird mental place. He came over and my OCD, I wasn't letting people for over a year inside. So they were outside on the balcony through the window. Taran comes over in a corner. This is also my new place. Before it was a big balcony. He's in a corner. I already felt, I'm sorry to my guests that are doing this. I don't know how else to do this. You have a family, you have kids, you schlepped over here. He comes in. One of my things with equipment wasn't working. Then he was waiting and was so understanding. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And present, not on his phone. So he's just like watching me do it. And then I finally sat down. The mic arm broke. I got another one. The mic wasn't working. I changed the mic. This was static. I fixed it. His was static. I'm done. Just go home. But I can't say go home. You came over here. I can't be present other than talking about what's happening.
Sure.
And you were so, buddy, it doesn't matter. Just let's talk about whatever. And I got so embarrassed. And I told you this for over a month. It was bigger than obviously this.
Sure.
But this was the inciting incident.
Yeah.
And I couldn't control myself with a person that I've known. We've done this before. Very low stakes. and I lost it. And instead of being like, dude, yeah, I know you're fucking losing it. You were so
and
sincere.
That would have helped you more.
Not that what you did was wrong. What you did was actually the kindest version.
I don't think I did it wrong.
Yeah, but yes.
But the late night stand up backstage Zazz.
Being able
Is it
to
called
acknowledge
Zazz?
it's Zazz.
Doing your marijuana hits. Zazzing each other at the stand up. Zazzing.
Razzing.
I prefer Zazz.
That's the difference. And that's what I'm talking about. I razz, use Zazz. But yeah, like I couldn't like, and I also agreed with you. I want to be like, yeah, let's not spin, Rick. Let's get into it.
Sure.
But I can't. I'm sweating. I need to get this off my chest. And you are so professional. Yeah. And you were so sincere. And that's where like it's just confusing. And it's a skill set I would love to be able to do, but I think it's not for me.
Okay.
So
yeah, because you're a broken piece of shit, you fat twat face.
Wow.
Are we playing now?
I'm zazzing you.
Razzing.
Sassing.
That was a big growing experience for me, that episode
I
review.
know. And I'll be 100% sincere or maybe just transparent. I was really hoping to get through this without you bringing it up again.
Oh, really?
Only because
we don't talk about it. I know it's no way
because my
anymore.
fear is that your mind would take you back there.
No.
Okay,
Literally, there's like certain moments in my life that like something happened I didn't understand and like I evaluated for a long time, but we don't need to talk. I'm totally fine with it.
You didn't understand, you shit fuck.
Well, no, you're Scott.
It's making it worse, I feel like.
Oh, man. I guess I got to take Rick Glassman's School for Zazzing.
You got a real cool name. I feel like your name, whenever I write anything that takes place in a school, I'm going to write hey, Glassman. Like that. It's just like it's the first line of every SNL sketch involving children in high school.
See, my observation is you have the name of a very early Punch-Out villain.
Oh, well, because Glass Jaw, right? What was his name? Glass Joe.
Yeah.
Right. 007-373-5963.
Get to Tyson right away. Get punched on JetBlue flight.
Whoa.
Could you beat Tyson?
No, God, no.
I could beat Tyson.
No.
You just got to dodge him for the first 2 minutes and then it's easy.
Sure.
Yeah. Are you talking about in the game or in real life?
Oh, in real life. The game is impossible. No, the game.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I could beat Tyson in the game.
Yeah. I'm so mad that happened to him last night.
Yeah.
Wait, did Tyson fight last night?
He punched a guy like a bunch of times in the head because...
In a fight or in real life?
On a plane.
I feel that's inaccurate.
No,
a complete and total
that's out of
asshole.
Context. Yes,
a complete and total asshole.
Yes,
was bothering Mike Tyson
like
for
harassing
2
him
hours,
on a plane,
and his friend is filming it.
Yeah, and they're like laughing and do it like,
and then
won't
finally,
stop. After Tyson does the picture and is like, "Hey, what's up? Yeah, thanks." You know, like did the gracious thing, and then the guy was wasted, and let's be honest, a trash man.
Yeah. And
his name was probably Rick Trashman.
I don't see. This is the stuff I'm talking about.
But so you said I do it separate, but I feel like I was telling a sincere story and went Zazz very quick.
Hey, I was joking.
Oh shit!
Dude,
when the Zazzer becomes the Zazzy,
it's me. It's Rick.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, I'm fucking with you.
Oh, I guess I just got Zazzman.
Glass.
Huh?
Glassman bopped. So Tyson Zuna's thing also is a little dated. This is coming out in like a month, so it happened a little bit ago.
Oh.
But Tyson, he's like, "Hey man, how's it going? I'm Mike Tyson. I'll take a picture with you."
I hope this happens again in a month. No, the day before.
And then Tyson punches the guy or gets punched.
He says like, "Chill out, man, chill out," and literally says, "Stop, hey, stop, get the fuck out of my face, or you're gonna have a problem, whatever." This is all like from quotes and observations, but then eventually it leads to footage of Mike turned around punching as the other guy's friend tries to bang him, and the guy who got punched had like cuts all over his face and stuff, but was still like doing I did a fun dumb drunk thing.
Right. That's what internet comedy has kind of
exactly
shined a magnifying glass on.
We're in Running Man. We're living in Running Man society.
It's not a tumor.
Yeah, that's Kindergarten Cop.
Same guy though, right?
It's not from Running Man.
No, I don't think the kid from Kindergarten Cop is in.
Mr. Kimball, are you all right?
Boys have a penis, girls have vaginas.
Oh, I see you're teaching them the basics. Not so tough without your car, are you?
I love her.
She's good.
Yeah, she's
we actually have her on the pod next week.
Is that true?
Oh, I'll reach out.
William Forsythe, Flat Top from Dick Tracy.
Yeah, Bill Forsythe, old Flat Top.
Who was he in that?
He was Flat Top. Bill Forsythe was
Kindergarten Cop.
He's the guy with the ponytail, the bad guy.
Crisp or
no, like the bad cop,
the ex-lover, right? Oh no, the bad cop. That's right. The turncoat,
the guy
the traitor
that's trying to get him, right?
You talking with the
bad
ponytail?
guy? Yeah, the ponytail. Bad
Is he
guy.
the ponytail ex-boyfriend of the
William
same guy?
Forsythe, Flat Top from Dick
Flat
Tracy
Top.
is in Kindergarten
I know
Cop.
who you're talking about
following,
in
but I
Kindergarten
think
Cop.
Rick's right. I don't know that he is.
He plays Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He's William Schwarzenegger.
He
He's not in
plays,
Kindergarten Cop.
He is. He plays William Schwarzenegger.
You really gotta listen. Check the cans.
Sorry,
If
man.
it's not on IMDb, it's because your phone's wrong.
Yeah,
my phone might be wrong. I have an old phone.
Yeah, like a real piece of shit that messes things up.
That's not nice.
Starting to like this guy.
You call that a tight five?
How come neither of you do stand up?
That I'm afraid of.
I did it for a while and then stopped.
Do you guys hear that? I've been hearing it.
Oh my God, is
the
it
spa
Is that
music.
you?
I have spa music.
Yeah, there's
on my
meditation music that I keep hearing. I'm wondering if there's a signal that's crossed.
phone. Oh my God, no! I was just meditating before
I thought Mark
came
was
here.
just piping in like Atmos, like scoring this episode
Live?
Yeah,
No, what happened was
It's been
we were
on for a
doing the
long time.
podcast. Has it?
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We were doing the podcast, and I got a text from my cousin Marcy.
Oh,
Shout out to Marcy. We'll put her Instagram handle up here.
Thanks. And when I pulled my phone out, my meditation music started, and I didn't realize it.
oh, fun.
But I heard it too, and I was like,
Oh,
that sounds
I
right.
was
thought it was
nervous
outside.
that I'd gotten too sincere, that I somehow enacted.
Hey, it's a good stand-up bit.
Hey, you ever get so sincere? Hey, yeah, people have issues with sincerity. Right? I'm already doing a Kyle Mooney character. I can tell. Like people don't really like when you get a little too honest. You know what I mean? When you get the truth hurts. You know what I'm saying?
my favorite thing that Kyle Mooney-
sometimes I wish someone would be truthful with me. Bruce Chandling, one of my favorite characters.
My favorite
ever on
Kyle
SNL.
Mooney bit ever was he would just come up to me. It would be 11 p.m. at SNL, and he would just come over to me and go, "More like Saturday Night Dead.
More like Saturday what?
More like Saturday Night Dead." It was never not funny. I don't know why.
He's the best.
He's the greatest.
What are you scared of for stand-up?
I don't find just my personality, just me, Taran, interesting enough, or I don't put enough value on who I am as a person to justify people's attention. The work, I have a process, and I have, I try to inhabit a character. I try to change my voice, my physicality, my look to tell a story or to convey an emotion or an experience or invoke laughter if I'm focused on comedy. Taran making astute observations. This is how I've defined it for most of my life. I immediately get squirmy and go like, "Who cares? I don't even care. Nobody's gonna care." It's that. Now, I have spent enough time where I've defined like my relationship as a fan and as a comedian. I have such great respect for that. There is a craft and there is a process for constructing a stand-up routine or a 30-hour thing.
30 hours?
A 30 minutes, an hour, the whole set. But I just wish I'd had a mentor to show me what I could have been capable of. And maybe, just maybe, I could have been a great stand-up. I could have been a great stand-up.
For the rest of the episode, it's just Bobby and me. You're there.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. You see, the reason I got... Oh, you know what? YouTube's going to mark that. I was actually wanting to laugh over something.
I didn't know if you had the rights. So
I don't.
Going to mark that.
I got Disney gave me Star Wars, but it's crazy. Pat Benatar, she would never let it happen. You don't want to do stand-up?
That's
your
my
SNL.
SNL. Yeah. It's at the point now,
First base.
honestly, like at this stage, because you know who used to say you should just do it, you're gonna end up doing it,
Can
is
we
Bobby
guess?
Lee.
I was gonna say Bobby Lee.
Were you? Yeah,
No.
yeah. Were you?
Well,
Probably.
yes.
Yeah, and I just at this point, the why of it, like I just watched Rothaniel. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, extraordinary.
He's fantastic.
I've always been a fan of his comedy anyway, but that's such a special piece that I go like, oh, I kind of covet that achievement, or I admire it, and I sort of, wouldn't it be great to create that? Yeah. That's like the first time in a long time where creatively I've been drawn to the art form.
Yeah, inspired by stand-up.
As opposed to it'd be great to fly somewhere for a weekend and make 20 grand or whatever. You know what I mean? That's where it would be coming from. It'd be more for a business thing like, oh, I can generate my own material. I don't have to wait for anybody. That I find appealing. But creatively, I just don't have the bug.
Yeah, I don't love the idea of doing it all the time. I love stand-up.
Yeah.
I love it. Some people have a mentality. I talked with Gerard about this years ago, and he and I have a similar sensibility with this thing I'm about to say, which is, he says, people say, especially when we're younger, you got to get up 7 nights a week. You got to keep doing it, even when you don't want to.
Yeah.
And I always felt, and he felt the same. He goes, why?
Mm-hmm.
Do it when it feels like you should be doing it.
Yeah.
It's harder it takes longer because to get 1,000 sets, it takes a little bit more time.
Yeah.
But there's sometimes, a lot of times, I don't have it. I'm okay that I don't have it tonight. I don't want to do it tonight. I'm not going to do it tonight.
Yeah.
So going on the road, which I'm now just about to start to doing because this podcast gave me a bit of an audience.
Yes.
I'm excited to do stand-up. I don't want to do 2 shows a night. I want to do one show, maybe just one show Friday, one show Saturday. I just want to do it sometimes to build it all for that.
Yes.
I want to make the product.
Yeah.
It's not the lifestyle. It's not being on stage feels like fucking. I want to just get good enough to like make the thing.
Yeah. I totally
and like
get that.
Show the trophy.
Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah, create the entertainment, create the product. You said it exactly right. Yeah, I relate to that. And if that had ever been something, that's how I think I would have gone about it.
Not me. I just want that cash.
He loves the cash. He loves his asses.
Just kidding.
Would you ever do stand up? You're more neurotic than I knew you would be.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, like you're as a performer, you're so,
dynamic and confident and and
not
precise.
That you're not confident now, but yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're so like, fucking. Oh yeah, of course he's doing this. And now you're just like, I don't know, and it's like, I like seeing that, because I get in that
did
mood
stand
sometimes.
up. I took I took the class at Comic Strip Live, like right out of college. It was I'm going to take stand up class.
Yeah, that's how I started.
My the first day, it was like, write down 5 things you want to talk about. And it was like, and then the next week I was like, I think I got this now. And he was like, nope, you have to do the 5 things you talked about. And I was like, this sucks. And like 8 weeks in, I was like, I'm better than this guy. Like I wasn't at all, but I was just like,
maybe.
Well, no, but I wanted to do it right my way. And then I wore a suit.
Oh, I love that.
I wore a suit. I decided
Ironically,
to wear a suit. No, it was like, I'm going to look nice, so I'm going to wear a suit. And did stand up at Comic Strip Live on a Tuesday at 5:00 at night to a completely packed audience and 5 seconds. This is my class show.
Right. So everyone there is there to see somebody.
Yeah. This is like 2000 probably.
Okay.
Class show. And they're like, hey, I know you're next, but somebody needs to go on before you. They have an audition and they need to tape it. And somebody walked into the center of the comedy club with like a tripod and a video camera like this big. And Sarah Silverman came in.
Wow.
And did a set. And she filmed it. And it was like, I think she was already working at SNL probably at that time. But I knew who she was. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, and I had to follow Sarah Silverman on my first time ever doing stand-up in a suit. And
do you remember any of your bits?
I talked about getting enough Marlboro miles to get a kayak and then not being able to use the kayak.
You don't have a clip of it, do you?
I do.
Do you mind if we show a little clip?
Sure.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm Bob Moynihan. This is my first time doing stand-up. Is this is my first time doing stand-up. I just want to make sure that everyone's getting it.
Do some jokes.
Cigarettes. Do you smoke cigarettes? Does anybody out here smoke cigarettes?
I smoke cigarettes.
Me too. I used to collect Marlboro miles, and then I saved them all up, and I got a Marlboro kayak. But I was too unhealthy to use it. Y2K, more like, why do I care? Thank you, Save the Whales.
Funny.
Thanks.
Yeah, I like that stuff.
I appreciate it.
You look good.
You have a
Thank
gift.
you. Yeah, it was next Richard Pryor when I'm right after me.
Oh, wow.
What's this class show?
And then right after Richard Pryor,
Yeah.
Shecky Green. Not just kidding.
You did the Comic Relief Live comedy stand-up class,
Correct,
right?
correct.
Yeah. Billy Crystal was your teacher.
I had the worst night of my life doing comedy at Madison Square Garden.
You performed stand-up
it
at
was
Madison
great.
Square Garden?
No, I should have.
Wait, what?
The 2020 concert for that Hurricane Sandy concert
Which,
in like hour 7.
sorry.
Yeah.
Wait.
In like hour 7 of that concert when people wanted to go home in between Kanye West, who had just finished screaming and dropped a mic. He was wearing a kilt and threw his mic into the audience and was cursing at
That was
them.
when he was with Mike Myers, right? Or are you talking about a
No,
different thing?
not that
different
thing.
time.
That's a different, yeah.
And then me and Seth come out on stage at Madison Square Garden and did a drunk uncle bit.
Yeah.
And it was because Bill was supposed to do Stefan, but he canceled.
Wait,
So
I'm sorry.
They made me go out on stage and do drunk uncle.
This is not at Madison. What's Madison?
It's at Madison Square Garden.
It was in the arena.
And it's
there.
filled?
It's packed.
the biggest concert of all time. It was
Coldplay went on right after him.
Wait, you're being serious?
100%.
it was-
Chris Martin was like,
it was Kanye West, and then directly after me was Billy Joel,
Oh,
who
yeah.
everybody from New Jersey had been waiting for.
Yeah.
And when me and Seth came out,
Because it was supposed to be, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. It was supposed to be another bit, and then you said someone didn't show up?
it was originally Bill. It was supposed to be. They asked Bill to do
they
it.
would do
Bill
little,
Stefan.
yes, Bill.
They
They
would
would
do
do
like-
little interstitials as each new musical act set up.
Following.
Yes.
and we just had to do a bit. And the second we came out, everyone just stood up to go get beers. And it was the worst. It was the worst experience of my life, to the point where when I went backstage, people were talking to me. Chris Rock was like, "I told you not to go out there, man." People were talking to me, and I just walked past them.
Yeah.
I remember very distinctly walking past Katie Holmes.
Okay.
And her going like, "That was," and like she started to speak to me, and I kept walking. I saw Bill Clinton and Chelsea Clinton, and
Oh,
Bill went,
geez.
"Hey, drunk uncle."
Oh,
Really?
wow.
You love Bill Clinton stuff.
Just go to, and then just went down the normal staircase in Madison Square Garden, walked through the lobby, didn't know where I was, walked through I'm dressed as drunk uncle.
Yeah.
Walked through the front lobby out to the street and walked home
Yeah.
in my drunk uncle costume.
Yeah.
And I got a call like as I was getting to my door, and they're like, "Your car's here." I'm like, "I'm home already." I just walked home in that costume.
I just answered phones at the phone bank and got to watch Coldplay and I think like Pink Floyd or something.
Do you remember watching him?
I guess I didn't see that. I think I've
think
heard
it was
the
a different
story
time.
so
It was a
many
different time.
so often that I feel like I was there, but I think maybe I missed that.
It was awful.
Do those moments of big embarrassment, do those do something to you after the fact? And
Now I think it's funny. That night, it was like, that night I remember getting home and just being like, just pretend, just go to bed. Just go to bed. Just go to bed. You did not just bomb at Madison Square Garden.
during the bombing, were you wanting to get out? Were you sweating, or were you committed to the bit?
The second we walked out on stage, every single person stood up or audibly said the word, "What?" Like it was instantly hated.
So is that
Instantly-
bombing, or is that just you shouldn't have been there? There's
It was
a difference.
wrong place, wrong
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
There's nothing you could have done.
I also
No.
think the intention of it is to
Yeah.
protect it, that like
That's
there's
fun.
there's no strikeout in that scenario. It's like the guy got dressed up to help raise money for Hurricane Sandy, whether it's funny or not. In some way, I think now it's funnier to tell
Yeah.
it that like, you did a Weekend Update character
if you watch, if you
on
see
the
it,
stage of the garden.
As if people were there for SNL, not Billy Joel.
Yeah.
they were
great.
like, "Oh, sweet, we're gonna get a really well-paced 5-minute drunk uncle bit. That's what we need right now is non sequiturs."
Oh, great.
It was a nightmare. It was
Great.
instantly the wrong choice. And Chris Rock was like, "Don't go out there." Don't.
What was he doing, though?
and
Was
he
he
was
doing
not
stand-up?
kidding. Yeah, he did like 5 minutes of stand-up,
Yeah.
and he was like, "I didn't do good."
Yeah.
Oh, is that after him?
He was like,
Yeah.
he was not kidding. He was like, "I'm telling you, don't go out there."
I mean, and people, I hate to like dredge this back up, but people don't realize that during the Academy Awards, Will whispers, "That was for Bobby."
Yeah,
Are you're friends with Will? That's cool.
he's my best friend. That's why I didn't want to say it about Terry.
Will Stank Draws Smith.
I had Will Smith on the podcast, and we did. It's a long story. It was at an agency thing. We ended up only being able to do a half hour, and we were going to do a part 2.
Oh.
And I kept talking about I might release it, but we were going to do a part 2, and we were going to do a follow up thing. And he's hard to get a hold of. And
Why?
Excuse me.
Just Fresh Prince.
No.
And I decided that I was going to, you know what? Because people kept asking, I was going to post it after episode 150. I was going to maybe make it 150, but
funny.
no. So I did the 150 with Santino.
Yeah.
And then that episode was coming out Monday. Sunday, that slap happened.
Oh, no.
And I just couldn't post it.
Oh, no.
But maybe I'll share it soon.
Yeah.
So who really got slapped? You know what I mean?
The viewers,
Yeah.
listeners,
The
The-
hearers.
Yeah.
the people, everyone.
But that's cool that you guys are close and he did that for you. I still think he shouldn't have done that.
No, it's truly insane. It's truly anytime, and I
do you ever just go back and look at it just to see if it was just like literally just go like
no. What I'm doing is weirder and less, but weirder.
I'm jerking off,
which
to it.
is I am like VRing. I'm like avataring into Will Smith's body to go like. The stuff I'm trying to fill in the gaps we didn't see, which is standing up. That's a lot of energy. Climbing stairs. That's a ton of energy.
Does he know what he's going to do as he's climbing the steps?
yeah.
Yes.
He knows he's going to slap.
The second he stands up,
I think it's building. I
do
it's
too.
Building.
I think he doesn't know what he's going to do, and that's part of why he did what he did, because he got there and it's just
So crazy.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
It's
I
years
think
and years and years and years of trauma.
I think it's yes, 100%. But what's so it's like it's not just Will Smith at the actors. It's Will Smith at the actors with the seat in the center the year he's going to be awarded. Like it's your night. It's your night.
that he's never been there before. It's the height of his
There are
career.
infinity more options. So it's so like it's a full break, but it's the walk. It's just the way that was staged. It's a catwalk. It's a long catwalk there, and it's probably a much longer catwalk back.
That's why I don't think he knew. I think if he knew he was going to slap him, he had enough time to kind of check himself. There's no way, because it wasn't a boom. I feels like he's coming up and he doesn't know what to do. Because if you know, like it wasn't instinctual. It wasn't a knee-jerk reaction. It was 8 seconds.
It's so longer.
And
I think it's longer.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say he doesn't seem that upset about it until the second.
Till he knows he burned the bridge or whatever.
Until Chris says, dude, like treats him like a child. Goes like, what are you doing, dude?
Yes.
That's the moment where it kicks in and he gets angry to me. Where it's like, before that, he thinks he's in the right.
Yeah.
Man. Also, like,
I can't believe we're the first people talking about it.
Yeah, thank
I was
God.
just gonna say you don't talk. I didn't even talk about it.
At least this is coming out in a month.
More importantly than that, we're the right people to talk about.
Well, it might happen again in a month with a Tyson punch.
Have you ever hit anybody?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I played basketball. I used to get in fights a lot, and I'm proud of it. Not a lot. I've been in 8 fights probably. 8 fist fights.
Dear Rick, hey, it's Bill. So that was weird. Listen, man, hitting's never cool.
It was game point.
Oh, did you hit somebody? Is that
No,
what
not
happened and
since-
I didn't know? Am I bringing up a term?
No, not since like
no,
college. And you know, you ever been in a fist fight?
Not really. I mean, like in middle school, I remember being like taunted, and I think it was Joe Reyna, the pitcher. We were playing softball or kickball or something, and he like hit me with the ball, and I got angry and like ran at him. And I went to tackle him, but I went super low, so I like flipped him over my back. But like it was not like a good move.
Okay,
like it was not. It was just like that's what happened. So it was like his back hit the ground, and everyone was like, "Bobby won," and I was like, "I just went way too low."
Yeah.
So like everyone's like, "Oh, you won that fight," but I was like, "No, I just like." 2 chubby kids flipped each other over because they were not physically fit.
It's definitely a better YouTube video headline.
But then in high school,
or a comedy special.
and then in high school, me and all my buddies, like you're in high school, you're with all your buddies. My buddy had a van. We all went to McDonald's.
Yeah,
been there.
And the guy, my buddy Anthony, who had the van, there was like a group of kids at McDonald's, and we were older than them.
Yeah,
like I would say a couple years older than them.
Which in nowadays is like a decade.
Yeah, and my friend Anthony went like, "Hey, look at the girls!" Like just said something about them.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And then what?
And we all went and we got our McDonald's. We sat down and we ate and we opened the door to go out of McDonald's. And it was a bunch of guys, and my buddy Mike had his girlfriend with him. Nice. And we go outside and they're all just standing around the van. And I remember being like, oh no. And then it was just like all hell broke loose. And Anthony, like people just started punching.
Oh, that's a real thing.
It's a brawl.
It was a bunch of kids, like a bunch of punk kids attacking like 20-year-olds who didn't know it was coming.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Who won that fight?
We did. Well, I guess no one.
Yeah.
I mean, we got in the car.
That's what I want to talk about Will and Chris.
We got in the car, drove away, killed 2 of them. We never heard anything about it, so we just left. Murdered. Yeah. Checked the papers in hospitals for months.
We are the ghosts of those punks you killed.
$10,000.
That's a true story.
What about you, dude?
Middle school, probably last fight. Again, the bully of my life going like, hey, he said you're stupid. What are you going to do? Pushing us like kind of.
You had a bully of your life? He was just like one guy that you still know?
My childhood.
We will bleep it.
Okay.
Absolutely bleep. Blur the mouth. Take it out. I want to hear the name if you're comfortable with it.
Of course.
Glassman.
Jewish.
I don't think so. Is
Glassman.
Not necessarily, but
I don't think so.
Notorious bullies.
But he was the worst. He was the worst. He multiple times would find out the girl I liked and then ask them out.
And they'd always say yes to him?
Yeah, he was
So he
tall,
was
handsome.
good looking.
Yeah.
How would he find out the girl you liked? Did you ever pretend you liked a different girl?
It's that weird thing. No, I should have. That'd have been brilliant.
I like Sarah Borthschlag. You were over there and you're like, come here, Denise.
Did you ever hear the Arnold Schwarzenegger story about Stop or My Mom Will Shoot?
No.
Was it Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone?
Arnold Schwarzenegger told...
Go back to this, remember?
Sorry, quickly. Arnold Schwarzenegger told Sylvester Stallone, he was like, there's this movie out there I want to do so bad. It's called Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Because he was like, I just want Sylvester Stallone to do a shitty movie. And Sylvester Stallone was like, get my agent on the phone. Get me that part. And he got the part and did the movie and then was like, there you go, Arnold. He was like, you idiot. I tricked you.
Amazing.
It was such a good movie, though.
Talking about it together.
Oh, my God.
How would you see that?
The funniest thing. That's the funniest thing in the world.
Where did he hear
Arnold
him say
Schwarzenegger, he was telling the story the other
in person?
Sylvester Stallone was doing an interview the other day and told the whole story about how one day Arnold came to him about this movie script and he was like, I'm really excited about it. And then he called his agent and was like, you get me that part. He's not doing it. I am the biggest action star. That should be me, not Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he got it, did it. And like, then got the part, talked to the director and was like, I can't believe Arnold almost got it. And he was like, what are you talking about?
Wow.
And then Arnold tricked him into doing that movie because there was another movie that they were going
They
for.
had that relationship. I want to tell a story, but I don't want to.
They don't talk about it like angry.
Tell it after.
I'll tell it after.
Yeah, it's too
Also, I have
complicated.
to get going soon, just to let you know.
Yeah.
Well, we'll wrap it up in a second.
Yeah, sorry.
Do you want to say?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
The bully guy.
The bully, this guy, this other kid, Matt, and who like I had been friends with at one point, but like it felt, I was like, why is this happening? Why is it? And a circle of kids like going, yeah, do it, go, go, go. And like Matt was more into it than I am and kind of like pushing me. And I was, and I just like got furious and I just punched him like a true punch in the side of the head to where he like kind of like fell backwards. And everybody, and like literally the timing was crazy in my memory, at least, that like the lunch bell rang immediately and everybody dispersed. And I turned around and my friend Nick came up to me. He's like, that was awesome, man. Like you did it. And I just burst and it just bawled. I just hated the feeling. I just hated it. And I was just like, at all costs, avoid that kind of feeling. And a recurring dream I have is like having to punch in self-defense and not ever being strong enough that it, for the combatant to feel it.
Feels like there are a moment where eggs are being thrown at you where you're like, treat us better.
Yeah.
You just lost it.
I just hated the feeling of causing someone else physical pain. Not into it. I don't like boxing. I don't like UFC. I don't like that kind of violence. And I was even a kid that like growing up loved, Schwarzenegger and Stallone and action movie and stuff.
Put a poster of his movie.
And I went and saw the newest John Wick, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I hate this. Makes me sick.
So sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
Well, I just feel like we've evolved, right? No?
We're older. I think humans still need to do that.
Yeah.
You need to learn how to like stand up for yourself, and sometimes the way you do that is through physical violence, which shouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
But you learn that, assuming there's no weapons involved and you're just punching each other, and you realize even if you win, you still got punched at least once.
Right.
You're swollen a little. It's just
my two rules about fighting is if avoid at all costs. So I'm flying out west, and if it does happen, duck.
So I didn't slate earlier. That wasn't a slow clap. I was just slating. Well, I'll leave you with this.
No, he has to leave. You can stay.
Leave me on this. My brother used to beat me up.
Okay. Your parents should have stopped that immediately.
They did their best.
No.
He didn't beat me up every day, but it happened 10 plus times. It was actually like my dad is at work, my mom's at home, my brother would punch me in the face a whole bunch. And they always said, hit him back. Because it got to a point where I was a little bit bigger than my brother. And they would always say, hit him back. And I didn't. And it wasn't because I'm such a good guy. It was just, it's scary.
Okay.
Even if you want to kiss the girl, you're scared. What if she doesn't like it? It's a scary thing. And there was a moment, it was a week before my bar mitzvah, and my brother did something, and I didn't have the thought, and I punched him. I just remember it was very dramatic. He fell into the wall. There's picture frames everywhere. They all fall. He falls down, and I ran. My mom and my grandma, my mom's mom, who's in town at the time.
Hello. I want that story later.
Yeah, no, let's just say she was in from Camarillo.
Okay.
And I went in and I just started crying to them. I just punched Matt and blah, blah, blah. And they were just like, yeah, you good. Good. And I remember I wasn't confused, but I didn't share their sentiment. And in all the bar mitzvah pictures, he's got a black eye and stuff.
Oh, damn.
But it was that feeling of being able to hit somebody back was powerful.
Okay.
So
standing up for yourself
in whatever form that looks like. And that's why I wanted to talk to you.
Somebody said this earlier, and I thought it was amazing. Did you see the thing Mike Tyson did a couple weeks ago at the strip club?
No.
Or a comedy club or something?
I think it was like 6 weeks ago.
Yes, 6 weeks ago. My apologies.
Shoes off fans get furious at timeline inconsistencies.
Well, they know it matters.
Okay.
A guy sees Mike Tyson and starts trying to talk to him, and Mike Tyson is like, no, dude, no, leave me alone. And the guy pulls a gun and starts screaming. And Mike Tyson very calmly tells him to come over. He comes over to Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson gives him a hug and says, everything's cool, man. Don't worry, and completely de-escalates the situation.
Wow.
Gets the gun away from the man. And this is a real thing that happened.
Yeah.
And do you know how annoying you have to be to get punched in the face by Mike Tyson after that just happened?
Yeah.
That's 100%. Insane.
Yes. Yeah.
But I bet my whole point of this was I bet there was a little bit of Mike Tyson that felt really fantastic punching that kid in the face.
Sure.
And that sucks.
Sure.
Because it
also in Kindergarten Cop, you remember where the principal was getting Arnold in trouble for punching the person, and he's like, but be honest with me, how did it feel to punch that SOB in the face?
Yeah,
and then when he leaves, she goes, show a clip.
What did it feel like to hit that son of a b****?
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to let you go. So we're going to play some theme music. I got 2 things I need. I want to get a Polaroid, and I got to do a quick pickup of you doing stand-up in 2000.
Sure.
You have the time?
Yes.
Thank you so much. What can we plug?
Nature Cat Season 4.
Please watch Lightning Wolves.
Yeah, Lightning Wolves.
Is this a cartoon that you're in?
It's a cartoon he made.
Oh, is it out?
Yes,
Where
it's
is
got
it?
me and Taran Killam in it. Right now, you can catch it on Comedy Central's YouTube page. It's on YouTube. Just type in Lightning Wolves.
We'll put up a link in the description to it. Awesome.
Thanks. Watch Mr. Mayor
on NBC.
Tuesdays.
I got a book coming out called Not All Sheep Are Boring that you can get right now
When
on
is it?
Amazon.com
Yay.
or pre-order.
Oh, you know what? You want to look to camera? We'll put this in our commercials.
Go to Amazon.com and pre-order Not All Sheep Are Boring by Bobby Moynihan with illustrations by Julie Rowanzak.
Jewish?
I'm still talking like a 2-year-old because I did my voiceovers all day.
I want to end it because I want to get that thing and I don't want to make you stay longer than you want. Thank you, boys. Oh, what are you plugging?
Nothing right now.
You're the coolest.
All right.
You're the fucking man. Theme music.
Scoop.
I'd say that'll get a Polaroid real quick.
Woohoo. Blabbity blue. Scoop.